Hello, everyone. I'm Jennifer Britton, and I want to welcome you to our final session. I can't believe this is it. This is the wrap up of our EMCC Global Provider Summit for 2022. First, a big round of applause, I think, for the whole EMCC Global team. Way to go. What an event. And we really hope that you're going to enjoy this last hour as we take a look back at what we covered this week. It's going to be in true dialogue fashion. So in just a minute, after you hear from the crew here at EMCC, we're going to be moving through 3 rounds of breakouts. And we're going to be following an experiential lens with this last session, looking at what did you explore this week? So what's important about that? And now what can you put into practice? It's so amazing when we get to come together, spend time, whether it was a few hours or many days with colleagues, old and new, and learning always does come to an end. That is then our springboard to take the learning forward with the clients that we serve around the world. So it's a pleasure to be hosting this session with the EMCC team. We thought we'd just kick it off with a bit of a pass the mic of some of our favorite memories for the week. So I'm going to just pass on to Nicola Brown. Over to you, Nicola. What was one of your favorite memories or maybe insights from this week?
Oh my goodness, thank you so much, Jennifer. So much throughout the week. It's been fantastic. But the thing which has really made my mind just ping is listening to Untapped AI and thinking about where artificial intelligence can take us, where the applications could be, and how exciting and scary that is all at the same time for me personally.
Fantastic. So AI is what pinged your radar screen. Who would you like to pass to, Nicola?
I'm going to ping this baton over to Chandana.
All right, Chandana, how about you? What did you enjoy this week?
So yeah, thank you so much. I think over this 4 days, I have been a part of 5 different sessions and 4 networks. A few things that has really, I have picked up and learned from it, both as a coach and also being in the team with the EMCC Global Accreditation team. One of the things is that I think this conference has given our coaches and mentors an opportunity to think post-COVID. So apart from the classical coaching topic, there was a lot of discussion around, how we are showing up post-COVID in terms of this increased need for purpose and presence, being able to accept complexities. And also, I love that phrase that somebody said about non-anxious presence. So we've got to learn to live with it, this uncertainty, this anxiety space. And also the topics of coaching conversation has extended to things like remote leadership, self-image online. So it was very relevant for me. So this is what I picked up from, I think, one of the first sessions where BPP University presented their research on an impact analysis of coaches. There was also, I had a session with MSF, and they talked about formal and informal, how the ISMCP structure is there as a formal aspect and how they have been agile and been able to adapt within that. There was another message for me around community and how important with mentoring or coaching that sense of community is. And finally, my last session today on Master Practitioner was very reassuring. Vincent was there as well. And the message that came is that the EMCC process is inclusive, it's supportive, but also has a rigor. Sorry, I went over the 20.
Well, what a great summary, right? We've had so many hours of ongoing dialogue, and I really appreciate just, those spotlights that you took us through as we went. So maybe it's appropriate to head on over to Vincent then. Vincent, what was your big learning or something that you really enjoyed from today and the past few days?
Two very quick thoughts, Jennifer, and thanks for passing the mic to me. 2 very quick thoughts. The first is how incredibly supportive and developmental people are finding the assessment process. The examples used were for the master practitioner, but I think it applies to across the board, the other standards as well. And also just how incredibly generous people are in terms of sharing ideas. The example I was part of was the National Civic Impact Accelerator, and people were incredibly generous sharing ideas with that team. So thank you for that.
Wonderful. So Vincent, who would you like to pass to on the EMCC?
I'd like to pass to Denise.
Thanks, Vincent. And Jennifer, my key memorable moments are across the whole week, the sheer engagement in the dialogue across all sessions that I've attended, and the energy that people are bringing. And as Vincent says, the generosity and the giving to co-create and to collaborate. Our process to professionalize everything we're doing is very much a dialogical process, one of dynamic inquiry. And it's a joyous journey of lifelong learning. And that enrichment has really come throughout all our summits, but especially our 5th summit during this week. So big thank you to everyone involved. And I will pass to Lucy.
Hi everyone, so my name's Lucy Dakin. I'm Global Head of Coaching at Grant Thornton, and it's great to be connecting with you on this time zone because I've been down under in working through the APAC region. So it's delightful to kind of loop back from the APAC region back to the Northern Hemisphere. Key takeaways for me, what a fantastic week. And there's been some great speakers, and 4 words come up for me: connection, purpose, community, and the future of what we're doing. It's really exciting. Back to you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Lucy. And I think we have one more voice to bring in, which is Julie. Julie, I know you just wrapped up your session. We'd love to hear from you, maybe 2 or 3 spotlights for you this past week. What have you enjoyed and really been noticing?
Yeah, so thank you so much, Jennifer. And just to echo again, what a fantastic week it's been. Starting Monday, I was in the session with 4 of our organisations that are accredited, and some really wonderful insights that were shared with very, very different organisations and very different approaches to their strategy and the way in which they define mentoring and coaching and strategically address it within their organisational context. And then this evening, we had a number of colleagues that were very interested in our organisational accreditation, but particularly around how do we engage key stakeholders, how do we align our mentoring and coaching with the organisational needs and the needs of those key stakeholders. Back to Monday, so one of our colleagues, and I can't see Agnese here this evening from MSF, which was the very first organisation that we accredited with our ISMCP framework in 2016. So she talked about the 3 R's, the 3 R's of relevance, reputation, and representation. And it really had such a huge impact with the group that were with us on Monday evening. So we had 63 colleagues in that session, and they really loved the 3 R's. And so that's really stayed with me, these 3 R's of relevance, reputation, and representation. But just to echo, what a really fantastic week it's been. And thank you so much to, I know Denise is going to say thank yous at the end, but a particular thanks from me to our accreditation team, just how wonderful they are in their giving of time and energy. Really, really is. And thank you, of course, to all our colleagues that have chosen to join this week. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Jennifer.
My pleasure. So I think this is a nice segue. I think we've heard from almost everyone here. Anyone else with final thoughts before we go into breakout? Because as Denise said, this week has really been all about the co-creation of insights. Earlier this week, I got to talk about co-coaching flow. And I think, in fact, the whole week has really been about how do we come together, lean in with each other into that dialogue. So just want to invite you to lean in, whether you are here live or other. I spent a lot of my life in the world of group and team coaching. And so I want to invite everyone who's here right now just to lean into the screen and to think about which of these photos represents the energy you are taking forward from this global GPS series of conversations. I'll invite you to maybe sketch something out, or if you'd prefer, just put it in chat. Lots of different energy, lots of different colors. I think it really represents the range of what we've explored this week here at the series. So take a moment, I'm really curious to hear what people are gravitating towards as well. Personally, the snow has fallen here in Toronto, Canada. So I have to say, that coffee with the warm feet is pretty appealing to me right in this moment. But I also really appreciate that midpoint of the tapestry. As someone who spends most of her life in the area of group and team coaching, I've really enjoyed the sessions that I got to attend and the discussion with different people, different insights, different client groups. Very, very stimulating. So share with us in chat, if you can, what are you connecting in with? So I'm going to work randomly here just because you won't see this on the recording. Linda's mentioning these are also pretty, enjoyed every minute. So I like all the people one. A couple of you love the fire heart and love the colors. Charlotte's indicating the people discovering. Fatima, the different directions. Shandana, the bridge taking us forward to the future. Dana, the galaxy reminds me. Also fire hearts, it's moving pretty fast now. Eric says I connect with the bridge and the bird's eye view. Ngozi, it's the rainbow, the synergy of various experiences and exposures. And we've got the fire heart, the bridge, and the bridge, bridging a gap, representing a transition and leading into a nice landscape, representing a desirable future. And finally, Carolyn says the Post-its, all the ideas that everyone has shared. And so that's such a wonderful sort of segue into what we're going to do now, whether you're looking at the Post-its, whether you're looking at the bridge, the road, the galaxy. We want to anchor this learning by inviting you to participate in our last series of breakouts. So we're going to do 3 separate breakouts today. And we're going to start off with our first breakout, which will invite you to think about what is it that sticks out for you as you think about the 4 days. You've heard from us, but what sticks out for you? We want to give you an opportunity with 4 or 5 other colleagues to come together and articulate that, because we know that coaching really is about speaking it out. And so we will bring you back after 8 minutes. Again, we're following an experiential process of what, so what, now what. But for now, we're going to just sit in the what. What sticks out for you? And Dila is our master of movement. Dila, are you ready to open those breakouts for us? So as I was saying, I hope you enjoyed that as much as we did. And we're going to take a moment to just cross-pollinate some of those ideas. So you can either use chat, or you should also be able, I think, to see annotate. If annotation is not working, we'll use chat, but let's see if we can get some words on the screen as well. So you have the option of using chat to share one word around what stuck out for you, or you can annotate on the screen. So I'm going to see what we have. We have chat is always fastest. So we have a lot of collaboration, connections, meta conversations, international perspective, connections, co-creation, globalism, excellent, new perspectives. Anything else? Future, belief, insights, innovation. Fantastic. And team network, inspiration. So just imagine all of those words. Meta is coming up again, meta coaching, reflections, meta conversation, generosity, and teamwork. So with that in mind, that is the what. And so what implications now does this have for our work, right? It's great to learn, but what implications does this have? So we're going to move into a second round of breakouts. You'll be with new people, because part of what EMCC has created for all of us this week is the beauty of networking and meeting and being in dialogue with others. So in the second round, we're going to look at the question, so what impact does this have for you and EMCC Global? So we're going to go to another 8 minutes. Like we did, we will come back, cross-pollinate, and I hope that you're going to enjoy this quick discussion around, so what impact does this have for you and for EMCC Global? Enjoy your next conversation. Dila, you can do the honors. All right, so welcome back. Let's get some of your ideas in chat. I think chat is the easiest vehicle for all of us right now. That's where everyone gravitated to. So what were your so what's out of this week? So what's been important? So what do you see as possibility? What do you see as impact? Let's hear from you. We'll read those out, and then we're going to go into one more round of breakouts. What's your so what? All right. I know there was a lot of connection here, and again, want to grasp this sense of community from Nicola Brown. I think incorporating community into my regular work will accelerate what I do. Denise says, thank you so much to Linda, Esther, Becky, Charlotte, and Shandana. Rob is saying, so what? Potential for closer connection. Esther, there is hope. Linda, thank you for including guests, shows amazing inclusiveness. Ngozi, keep the lights of collaboration and network on. Yes. Tatiana, thank you so much for this great conference. Lucy drives our mission to develop coaching globally. And Claudia mentions an additional realization, not forgetting about grassroots education of the public about what coaching is, the importance of an organization such as EMCC. There is still much misinformation. Vincent notes, explore collaboration between EMCC and the UK's National Civic Impact Accelerator Program. Massive opportunity. Julie notes, cross-fertilization of learning. Fatima, inspiration, connection, moving forward in deepening the learnings. And Anna notes connections through EMCC platform, high standards and ethics across cultures and different styles of coaching. Shandana, new possibilities, building new connections. And Denise, ambassadors across the world. Oh, yes. And Linda, brief the ISMCP to hundreds of US companies. And Anastasia, thank you to all, co-creative connection ethics. So we've got one more breakout, and that, of course, takes us to the now what. I think some of you were already leaning into the now what, but what are you going to do about this? And I'd like to challenge us to think not about what are we going to do next month, but what are we going to do in the next 24 hours? For most of us, it's not yet the weekend. What can we do to water the seeds that we have started to sow this week? So our last breakout will give you an opportunity to connect one last time. This is it for breakouts. We would love for you to take a moment to reflect on the question, now what are you going to do about it? With that, breakouts, please take us away. Okay, well, we hope that you enjoyed that final round. The now what may be most important. So let's give you an opportunity to just share with us what you would like. What is your commitment to yourself to put this into play, into practice, whether you did give yourself a 24-hour window or whether you were more lenient and, gave yourself a wider expanse. It would be great to just hear from anyone who'd be willing to share what your next steps are as a result of today, yesterday, and the earlier part of this week. Take a moment and pop that into chat, please. So we've got Nicola saying, going to try to build community into all my projects because I can see the power that community can bring. Florentina is going to continue to be a volunteer for EMCC. Yay. And just want to spotlight the voluntary effort this week that really made this an incredible experience. Fatima says, take some time apart to reflect on and integrate the learnings. Notice that's not one learning, but plural. And Linda's indicating, start to be an advocate for EMCC in the US. Yes. Claudia, next, connect with the people here, reflect on the learning, expand my coaching volunteering. Thank you, Claudia. Anna Karin, write down my reflections and learnings. And for Lucy, connect further with people in the EMCC community and share experience, learning, and discoveries in the coaching and mentoring space. Charlotte notes, I'm going to come out from behind my screen and be more involved. Yes, Charlotte, it'll be great to see you. Nicola, connect with me. You've got her LinkedIn. Anna made great connections, and I'll follow up with one-on-one to continue meta conversations. Rob Kemp is going to get closer in a number of ways. Tatiana will have a meeting to promote EMCC, 2 of them for sure, and write emails to participants with whom I met. And Vincent's also got a couple of ideas here. We'll debrief with the UK's National Civic Impact Accelerator leader, Paul Manners, and 2, set up a meeting with them and EMCC with Denise. There is so much we can do and collaborate with them on. And Ngozi, start with a female group in my organization. I've been planning to add for ABCD Endeavor to be a volunteer for EMCC. Claudia's popped her LinkedIn link in there, and Anastasia says, be a volunteer for EMCC, organize all my thoughts and connect. And finally, Chandana, build accreditation capacity, my ongoing commitment to this with the accreditation team. That's huge. And then Denise, World Economic Forum mapping of all our thoughts and ideas, digital tools. Julie, connect with colleagues I've met this week, expand our volunteer network. And then we've got some more LinkedIn links. Well, as we say in my home, all good things come to an end. However, I have seen throughout my career, I used to work for the UN, and I spent the first 15 years of my life as a professional crisscrossing the globe. My world was always about hellos and goodbyes, and I think that's what I do as a group coach as well. But I always note that the world is really a small place, especially in today's world of Zoom. So before we close off with this experience, I want to invite Denise to give a few remarks, but I'd also invite you to share any contact details that would be useful so that you can stay in touch in our digital space. So Denise, over to you for some thoughts, reflections, and what's next at a meta level.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. And gosh, where do I start? And the GPS, thinking back to our opening on Monday, I mentioned that our GPS, since first introduced in 2018, was a very special part of our hearts and our minds. And my goodness, has that come through this 5th GPS and our EMCC Global network, our connections, our community. My heartfelt thanks to all of you, but the wider groups that we've connected with throughout the week, the preparations leading up to the week, and of course the dialogues that will follow. So special thanks to my EMCC Global Executive Board colleagues, Dr. Riza Kalilar, our president, Stephen Murphy, our lead for thought leadership and development, and Nigel Cumberland, our EMCC Global Treasurer, and our council, of course, many of whom have been participating throughout the week. And thanks also to our business support teams, our accreditation administration team, 2 of whom are on the call today, Charlotte and Becky, and our wider team, and Caroline is also is on the call this evening. Thank you so much. They have done the most amazing job, quite often in the background, but also in the foreground. As you can see, their pictures on the screen. Charlotte saying, I'm going to come from behind my screen. Amazing recording, energy from everyone. And as I said in my reflections at the beginning, memorable moments, the generosity of people, the generosity of our volunteers worldwide, across all our teams. EMCC Global has a fantastic presence in over 140 countries worldwide. We have over 55,000 graduates from our Global Quality Awards. We have connections and partnerships with a growing number, a fantastic range of organizations across the world and globally. So I think what do we do next is really nurture those connections that we've been making over the past few days, and also in the years that we've all been connected with EMCC Global. What an amazing opportunity we all have to continue to co-create, to collaborate, work together, and be part of that joyous lifelong learning journey. So very special thanks, and especially to Nicola, who's central to all our communications in terms of our GPS dialogue series, our 5-day challenges, our heads of all our accreditations. We have Chandana on the call this evening, who's head of all our professional designations, Julie, who's head of our ISMCP developments with all our organizations, Shelley Crawford, who's head of all our quality awards, and of course all the teams that they work with. There are hundreds of people who back up our key leaders across our whole organization. So across all our countries, we have ambassadors, we have team leaders, we have managers, we have volunteers, and just working collaboratively with all of you this week has been such a wonderful experience. And final celebrations. Thank you so much. When it gets to the weekend, have a marvelous weekend, have some relaxing time, and it's been absolutely fantastic and a pleasure and a privilege to be part of our GPS 2022, and the dialogue will continue. Thank you. And thank you to Jennifer, very special. Thank you, Jennifer, for your master of ceremonies this evening to draw us to a close and really draw out some fantastic key points for us to cherish and to remember and to continue the dialogue. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Denise. I hope you'll take a moment to look at the chat. I just want to acknowledge you and Vincent, as he writes, your leadership is awesome and inspiring, Denise.
Thank you, Vincent.
Your emphasis on co-creation and dialogue makes these events so enjoyable and productive, and that's reflected by so many. I think that truly is the heart of this event, the dialogue. I want to get all of us to give a round of applause, not only for EMCC, but also yourselves, because it was a co-created event, and looking forward to being a part of this next year. Denise, when will announcements go out for 2023? Has a date been set yet?
Gosh, each year our GPS tends to be November, around about this time of year. However, our GPS dialogue series runs throughout the year. So I do know that Nicola is planning at the moment in fact, our dialogue continues leading up to Christmas, and then completely new program in 2023. Nicola, do you just want to briefly say?
Yeah, I've got a bit of a planning meeting in the next week or so to put all the sessions in for the next year, and then we'll start to send them out to everybody. So because you're here, I've got your email addresses, so I'll make sure that you get a notification about when when we put another one on. And how we run them is exactly like we run the GPS. So, but rather than a big 4-day event, it's just taking one session. So Jen will know, because Jen's done 3 with us now, I think. Is it 3 now?
I think it's 3 now. It's been a really great world to be part of. And I think, yeah, it's the nice bite-sized pieces where we can percolate on what we've heard. So thank you, Nicola. We'll all look forward to hearing from you. Any other announcements before we go to wrap up?
Any other announcements?
Gosh.
Wow. Enjoy, everyone, whether it's evening, morning, or afternoon. A big thank you to EMCC, and we'll look forward to these recordings becoming available in a few weeks. Not right away, but in a few weeks. So with that, everyone, take care, be well, and continue enjoying your conversations.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, everybody.